Welcome back to the Williams Elleby Howard Easter YouTube channel. I'm Joel. This is Chase. We got the original duo back together. It started this thing.
The band's back.
Finally, it's been forever.
I know, right?
Today we wanted to give a little ode to our hometown of Kennesaw, Georgia, and we're going to talk about Kennesaw car wrecks and some statistics and some dangerous intersections and the way that the bodily injury process plays out when somebody's in a wreck in Kennesaw, or you have to bring a claim against maybe somebody that lives in Cobb County, where you would do that and that kind of thing. So first, as we get started, Chase, you want to just take us through maybe some statistics on how many wrecks there have been in the past 5 years and all that kind of stuff?
It's a great specific question, and I do happen to have the answer.
We looked it up ahead of time.
Right. Yeah, so a little fun fact, I guess, in the past 5 years, so from 2020 to 2024, so this does include COVID, so I'd be interested to see what the next 5 years look like, but there have been roughly 5,000 car wrecks that have occurred within the city of Kennesaw. Of those, 6 have been fatal, and about 1,400 or so have been injury car wrecks. So about, 30%, give or take, have been injury-related or death-related car wrecks that have occurred in Kennesaw in the past 5 years, which is interesting.
Yep, and so many more than that involve property damage only claims,
right?
Where it's just damage to a vehicle and somebody's not actually hurt. But 30% of the wrecks occurring in this city resulting in some type of bodily injury, I think, is significant. And it's not just wrecks that involve car on car. There's also pedestrian versus automobile wrecks. As a matter of fact, in January of this year, which is 2025, there was an incident where a Kennesaw State University student was hit as a pedestrian while he was standing on a sidewalk. Somebody was doing a U-turn and hit him. But that case got a lot of news, got on the news on several different local stations, primarily because the guy that got hit then decided to start an organization at KSU, Kennesaw State, where they are advocating for a sky bridge to go over this intersection at right along Frey Road near the campus there at Kennesaw State. And deservedly so. I mean, the students need a safe place that they can cross an intersection with the population of Kennesaw continuing to increase at a pretty rapid pace. There are more and more cars on the road. Matter of fact, the last stat that I saw said that the average Kennesaw resident between, I think, 2019 and 2023 commuted one way about 27 minutes, right? So that's a significant amount of time in the car.
Right, you bring up a good point too, especially when you're talking about pedestrians and college campuses. Being around college campuses is a prime example. A lot of folks out, walking, crossing streets and things like that. But also, while you were talking, I was thinking festivals, whether it's City of Kennesaw having, the Pigs and Peaches that we do a lot of sponsorships for and things like that. People crossing the street and, getting to where they need to be. It's always very, very important to be hyper vigilant when you're doing that because, like that kid, for instance, was standing on the sidewalk. So it's not just when you're crossing the street, it's when you're close to the street, that bad things can happen. So
yeah, I mean, and one of the major roads that goes through Kennesaw is Cobb Parkway or Highway 41. And I mean, just within, a mile of our office, there are at least 4 pedestrian crosswalks on 41, which is a super busy highway. So there are a lot of places where pedestrians are crossing where the traffic is really busy. But regardless, there are a significant number of car wrecks in Kennesaw, a significant number of those where people are hurt. A much smaller percentage of people that lose their life in those car wrecks, but one's too many for that, but it's going to happen. So if you happen to find yourself being in a situation where you're in a car wreck in Kennesaw, it would be helpful to know how the claims process works. So initially, we're just going to go with bodily injury because that's what we do. But if you're hurt in a car wreck in Kennesaw, Chase, what's the first thing you think you should do?
I mean, when you're hurt, I know we've had multiple videos on this, but if you're hurt, go get checked out. Go to the doctor, go to the emergency room, go to urgent care, go to your primary care, go somewhere you can get treated. Because you definitely want to get better. That's the number one goal.
Yeah, and if it's bad, Wellstar Kennesaw is a level 1 trauma center, so we do have a trauma center local to us. It's maybe 10 minutes away from Kennesaw.
Yeah.
So that care is available. If it's not so bad that you have to go to the emergency room, then you do need to go to your PCP or an urgent care somewhere, get checked out, and let the doctors guide your treatment as to what exactly you need to get better. The second thing you need to do, regardless of whether the wreck was your fault, is you need to report it to your own insurance company. It doesn't matter if you've got State Farm, Progressive, Allstate, Geico, AmFam, Georgia Farm Bureau, whatever. You need to report it to your insurance company. Let them know what happened. But if you are hurt, then you are not required to give a recorded statement to the at-fault party's insurance company. You may have to give a recorded statement to your own insurance company, but I would highly advise that you reach out to an attorney before you do that so they can guide you through that process to help you know what to expect, let you know some of the tricky questions that the insurance adjuster may ask you that could muck up your claim, but you need to report it to the insurance companies. Then, after you do that, what would you say is the next step?
No, continue to get treating and then call us. but yeah, seriously.
Shameless self-promotion.
Right. No, I mean, the big things, obviously get treatment if you're hurt, let the insurance companies know. If you were to come to us and we were to get hired, obviously we would take over the process and, get medical records and bills, submit demands. If we can get the case resolved with the insurance companies, great. If not, we'd have to file a lawsuit. If the wreck happened in Kennesaw and the person who caused the wreck, lives in Kennesaw or lives in Cobb County, then that case would be filed in Cobb County Court, whether that be magistrate court, state court, superior court. Most of the time when we're filing a case in Cobb County, it's usually going to be in state court. Magistrate court usually has a limit. Well, not usually, it does. It has a limit on the amount you can seek as far as your damages are concerned, which is $15,000. So if you have a case that you think is $15,000 or less, you can go to a magistrate, which is also known as small claims court. Moves much quicker. But most of the time, the damages are going to be more than $15,000. I mean, for those of you that have been to Kennesaw recently and get a bill, you know that the bill alone is going to be more than $15,000. So your entire claim is certainly going to be more than that.
And you can walk in there and sneeze at a $15,000 bill.
Right. That's not an indictment on Kennesaw. That's just
healthcare.
That's the healthcare system in general.
You guys are expensive.
But most of the time, then you'll be in state court, and then there's the whole process that comes along with litigating a case in Cobb County State Court. So.
Yep. So anyhow, we love Kennesaw, and we live here, we work here, we raise our families here. So we just wanted to do kind of a local video on our hometown and some crash statistics and what to do. How to handle it if you happen to be in a car accident, car crash here. So yeah, that's about it. You got anything else on Kennesaw car crashes?
No, I mean, I think we've covered a lot of it. So just be safe out there. Head on a swivel, as my old coach used to say.
Yep. All right, cool. If you live in New York City, sorry that you had to endure this video. I'm sure you turned it off 10 minutes ago. But if you stuck with us this long, we appreciate it. If the video was helpful, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, we will see you in a couple of weeks for another personal injury video. As personal injury lawyers, we love what we do, and we're happy to share the experience we've gained in personal injury law. To help our family, friends, and YouTube subscribers, we've shared over 300 personal injury videos covering various injury topics. So if you'd like to gain more knowledge that may help protect yourself or a loved one when you're on the roads or out in public, check out our channel or view our playlist of shorts for quick personal injury tips.